Recently on social media and on websites, there's been talk of a new proposed zip wire across Thirlmere. So I thought I'd have a look over to the area to see exactly what's going on and how it will affect the landscape, and will it be good or bad for the environment in that area. As you drive through the valley, you can see that there's obviously some local opposition to the idea, and I thought I'd go and have a look through the forestry to see what's happening and what's been going on. In a clearing in the forest, what was the old forest track has now been completely regenerated into this major road. This is actually quite a substantial track. A lot of the forestry tracks that you see where they're felling trees just need to be rough so they can get the all-terrain vehicles down with the timber down to the roadside. But this one's been built up. It's got drain down the side, very solid. And there's an awful lot of hardcore put down on here. Let's just see where it goes. I wonder. I carried on up the road. It was very steep in places. Maybe you could get a four-wheel drive up there or a good stacked minibus, but it was certainly at too much of an angle for some of the heavy timber wagons that you see going through the forest normally. It's a shame that all the work has actually gone onto the road itself and not to restore some of the forest paths. The fact that this road is now in place will be very convenient for the Zip Wire company when they put in their proposals for their adventure. There's a bit of a slog up there. Very steep. I remember doing this route a couple of years ago on the way down, and it was just a rough forestry track. There's no sign of marks on the trees that they're ready for cropping. That's a giveaway sign in forestry. But look at this track. You could stick tarmac on this tomorrow and it'd be a good road. Some of the trees have been felled. But surprise, surprise, just at the end of the track, there's quite a big turning circle. Big enough for minibuses. All you have to do then is get out of the minibus, over the stile or through the gate, but I wouldn't surprise me if that gate's going to be replaced very, very shortly. Walk up a path, and within 150 metres of easy walking, you're at Fisher Crag. Of course, Fisher Crag is where the zip wire is going to begin. Listen to this. Apart from dog panting, some birds up in the trees, peace and quiet. Very little sound, if any, of the road on the other side of Thirlmere. Sounds like waterfalls, in fact. Wonderful. For now. To those that would say that this is a man-made landscape,
and it's not natural, so this is as good a place to put a zip wire as any. It may have had man's influence, but then so has every square mile of the Lake District, every square mile of the whole country. The trees are a forestry, but they're not all larch and spruce. As you might see through the mist there's some patches of mixed woodland. Colours are now starting to change, really nice. And yeah, you can see the dam at the bottom end of Thirlmere. It's still a lake, a nice lake, just bigger than the ones that were here before. And it serves a purpose. I just think it's a nice landscape. I can come here and paint. Photographers can come here and take photographs. There's plenty of good photographs taken around Thirlmere. Its beauty may be partly man-made, but it doesn't detract from what it is.
Even though it's not well known for its wildlife here, there's some lovely habitat for small birds, mammals, and they can just shelter away in the peace and quiet of this western side of the valley. Soon we come out onto the top of Fisher Crag. It's open ground, heather, small trees, birches, and it opens out into this wonderful view, a full-length view of Thirlmere itself. Across the valley you can see the whole of the Dodds Range right through to Helvellyn, Nethermost Pike, Dollywagon Pike. Wonderful.
So this is Fisher Crag, the easternmost extremity of Armboth Fell. Not many people come here. In fact, not many people go to Armboth Fell, to be honest. But what an amazing view. And it's probably the reason they've chosen it for the start point for the zip wires. Because just over there, on the far side of the lake, you can see Swirls Car Park. And that would be where the zip wire finishes. Interestingly enough, there's a Tucano coming now, a plane. Now watch how low the plane is. Here it comes. Just going in front of the car park. Eight wires stretch from here to there. I can't see anyone can say those wouldn't be a hazard to low-flying aircraft. You'd have thought I'd laid that on, wouldn't you? That fly past. I'll turn the camera around and you can see where the landing zone would be for the zip wire.
It's actually a location that I'm quite familiar with, because even Wainwright, in his pictorial guide to the Central Fells, came here to the top of Fisher Crag and did a small sketch looking up towards Blencathra over Thirlmere itself.
While watching this film, you probably think, bah, he's a grumpy old sod. Wilson Wainwright doesn't want anything to happen in the Lake District, or ban this, ban that. Not at all. When the Honister Zip Wire was applied for, I was one of the big supporters. I thought that was a perfect place for it. It was always going to be on the site of an old aerial ropeway. It was supporting a business that was already there. over a really badly scarred landscape, quarried for centuries. And the aerial ropeway that was there before, this zip wire would have been over the same footprint, so it wouldn't have been anything new. But the zip wire here will be, and I see it as being totally different. This crag here, Fisher Crag, is pristine. It's not been planted, it's open. There's a few scattered trees, a few conifers, a few birch trees over there. But it's as near as we'll get to natural in the Lake District now. Yep, the water down there is a man-made lake. But it's just a bigger version of what was there before. Thirlmere is not a brand new stretch of water. It's been there for a long time, and it's on an area that there already was water anyway. I just can't see how putting a zip wire that starts here, bringing people up what is already a man-made road that they've obviously put in, call me a cynic, but they've obviously put in to service this start point and to get down to there, over a main road and into a car park which is already well used by people walking up to Helvellyn. Not only do I see this as not the right place, but if this goes through, I just see this as a thin end of the wedge. Permission for this? Well, why not permission for another one in Langdale, coming down off Stickle Gill and over towards Lingmore Fell? Where do you stop? More employment? The company looking to put this through, say 28 jobs. They're not going to be high wages. And where are those people going to be? Where are they going to come from? Penrith? How well paid are those jobs going to be? Pretty sure they'll be minimum wage, and those people have to get here. In my opinion, if the zip wire goes through, it'll be sad. If somebody wants to make money out of getting people running down a wire at 50 quid a time, best of luck to them. But here at Thirlmere, I'm not convinced. Let's see what happens.